Penny stock billionaires. I'm just doing a quick live stream on SYTA. This stock is ready for a new moon on Monday. That's right. We're expecting this thing to absolutely explode. Again, this is not advice. Everything here is paid content. These are high risk stocks, but we have a beautiful chart setup situation. I want you to look at this chart. Again, I've seen this type of pattern. The one thing I have, the one skill I have is pattern recognition. Okay. And I've had so many 10 baggers. I literally wrote the book on how to find stocks that go up 1,000% or more. 10 bagger blueprint. You can get this on Amazon. Links in the bio. Get my free newsletter. Again, link is in the bio and all that. Bottom line is this: this stock has an incredible setup. And look, I know I've been saying, oh, it's ready to break out, for the last couple of weeks, right? And yes, it was actually in the short-term charts. We had some breakouts that were failed attempts. There were some failed attempts, but now this actually is the base. It's built the base. Look at this chart. You see this double bottom. Actually, you got a higher bottom on the right, and we got a breakout, which is a confirmation. We got multiple confirmations that this thing is ready to go. The rocket is leaving the launch pad Monday. Okay. Again, not advice. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I believe we're ready to double. I believe SYTA could double Monday. SYTA could. What's up? What's up, Preston? What's up? SYTA is what's up. Or it is actually up. Actually, in fact, it is up. It is up. What is my estimated price? My estimated price. You want my real number? Okay. All kidding aside, $15. I think we're on track for $15. I'm saying potentially it could be $25. 6 months. Whatever. I think we're going to be $15, and I did a TikTok video where I talked about WD GAN, time price geometry, which is kind of a very esoteric form of technical analysis. If you don't know WD GAN, you Google it. That's right, you Google WD GAN, and you'll understand what that is. But yeah, basically what it is basically double the old high because of the base. The base creates a setup for double. In other words, this setup that you're looking at right here, this chart setup, can support roughly a double, possibly a triple of the previous high. Time price geometry. This is like a WD GAN, George Bayer. Isn't George Bayer? I think it's a guy. Analysis, right? Bottom line is this thing is ready to go. So, Noah, I appreciate you too. Preston, thank you for joining the live stream. Again, last minute. This is last minute on a Sunday. I'm just kind of on the road right now, and I figured, look, let me just do a quick one because I think tomorrow is going to be an incredible day. Let's get into the charts. Let's get into the chart setup. Adam, I'm ready for this thing also because you know what? We've all been waiting, and here is the moment. Look, you've seen the charts I showed you guys. I've gone through this before. I've showed you our previous stocks. I've showed you the charts. Nobody believes it. I could show it a million times. I'm not even going to show it. Look at my previous videos where I show you all our previous 10 baggers. Actually, those stocks you're seeing scrolling at the bottom, and I'm only listing the recent 10 baggers. I'm not talking about doubles. I'm not talking about triples, 5 baggers, 8 baggers. No. To be in the pantheon, the 10 bagger pantheon, it's got to be 1,000% increase from the time we introduce it. And at the bottom, you see some of those stocks just in the last couple of years. Now, here's the deal. Every single one of them, I'm telling you right now, every single one of those stocks you see at the bottom, well, 90% of them, I think one of them was a little bit of different. 90% of them all had exactly the same type of thing as SYTA. In other words, they had a big explosion at some point, and then an epic crash. Not a crash, it's really a correction, a retracement. 50% at least to 75%, okay, to really shake out the weak hands. And SYTA did exactly that. We introduced it at $1.37. It rocketed to $9 after hours. And then here it is. It's bottomed out. It's built a base here at around $2. It bottomed out roughly around $1.80 something, right? We built a base around $2. Nice base. We got an inverse head and shoulders bottom. This thing is ready to go now. Listen, it's not me telling you. Don't believe anything I tell you. You know who you can trust? The moving averages. I'm going to show you right now. That is, again, if you read my book, 10 Bagger Blueprint, I talk about it. The moving average, that's your buy-sell signal, okay? Every people say, when should I buy? When should I sell? Well, I'm going to tell you right now exactly. I'm going to tell you what the technical signals are telling you, who are much smarter than me. This is telling you buy the hell out of this right now. That's the moving average. That's the fifth. That's what am I looking at here? I'm looking at the 1 hour chart, and you see a breakout above the 50 moving average, and the 200 is coming up. But we got beautiful setup. We got a beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful patterns right here that you see. We're going to form like a cup and handle right around 250. I believe it's going to happen Monday morning. Look at this. We're at 247 right now. We're at 247 right. Well, it was at 247 when we closed on Friday. We're at 248. So there's multiple things. Again, I did a video on TikTok where I explained this. This is why you know this is the breakout. Okay, how do you know? Multiple confirmations. Number one, we got multiple bars above the 50 moving average. This is the first time we've seen this. The first time in how long? Well, take a look at this. You see this over here? This was the last time this stock broke out of the 50 moving average. When was that? When was that? That was May 17th. May 17th, right when we introduced it. It went out, right? Look at this. This was the last time we had a breakout above, right? It went up, and that was your buy signal. And now you have a buy signal again. But you know what, people now? This, by the way, one thing I got to say, all our stocks that go up 1,000% are 10 baggers, the big winners. You know what they all have in common? They all have one thing in common, and that is, first of all, they don't go up in a straight line. They have to have that shakeout. The question is how big the shakeout is going to be and when the shakeout is going to be. Sometimes it's right away in the first month if we had a big move. Sometimes it's a couple of months in if the stock had a slower thing. But here's what they all have in common. Let me repeat what all our big winners have in common. The second wave is much bigger than the first. The money is made in the second wave. Write this down. Okay, now, you want to get my trading course, you want to get notifications of our next stocks that are going to be launching, click the link in the bio for the WAP program. So WAP is the platform we use. We give you the alerts, the trading alerts, and we give you, we're going to be notifying of our next new launch. By the way, all our stocks, when we introduce them, they explode. We've had we've had 4 stocks we've introduced in the last 6 weeks. They all doubled, almost doubled out. Some more than doubled. SYTA went up 700%. Lottery went up more than 100%. The first day one, 300% over 2 days. 200%, excuse me, 250%, whatever, 250%, whatever. Half, 80, nearly a double the first day, 90%. ADTX, 85% day one. And if you get our early alerts, you get that early notification. So you get in before everybody else knows about it, right? You want that? Click the link in the bio for the program. Now it is expensive. Well, it's an investment. It's $200, $195 a month. And also we're going to give you the video course. The course for this book is going to be given to the members first. What are we talking about? We're talking about SYTA ready to explode. So what do they all have in common? The big winners. What they all have in common, I talk about it in the book, the second wave is much bigger than the first. So that's why I think the big money is going to be made now. If you missed out on that, run to $9, forget about it. Don't worry about it. That's not even the appetizer. That's like, if you go to like a really nice restaurant, they give you this like scam, they send you this thing. They say, oh, compliments of the chef. They give you some little thing which tastes pretty good. It's called an amuse-bouche in French, right? It's like a little thing they do just to, like, I don't know, maybe get an extra tip out of you. But what you saw is the amuse-bouche. It's not even the appetizer, okay? This thing is, the second wave is where the money is made. Did I repeat myself 3 times? Okay, get ready for this. Now, I'm going to show you what's shaping up right now. Okay, so you got multiple buy signals. Now, how do I know? Again, we get the breakout, okay, which is well above. We got multiple confirmation. Look at the volume. Look at the volume. You see that volume right there? You see with your own eyes. We haven't had that type of volume on a breakout in quite a while. Okay, hang on a second. This is the banner is blocking. Oh, why is it not showing up on this chart? How come I'm seeing it? Why is this not reacting on the screen? Is there a delay? What is going on here? Hang on a second. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's try this again. Okay, something is wrong with the screen. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. I see. Okay, we had two different charts. Okay, here we go. I had the wrong chart. Okay, this is it. This is the 1 hour chart close up. Is it on? Okay, it's on. Okay, now look at this. You see this? We haven't had this type of volume in how long? Look at these big bars, those big green bars. Those are huge green bars. We haven't had that in a long time. That is your confirmation that we are ready to moon. We are ready to moon. Somebody's asking, is it merging tomorrow? Not that I'm aware of. I'm not aware of it. What I do know is this. Let me tell you what I do know. I know that the last there's one they have one thing that basically NASDAQ makes a decision. Basically, they need approval from NASDAQ, and NASDAQ was asking for like financials of core gaming. I think they had a couple things from what I understand. They were asking for pieces because again, for any type of they want to know. Okay, here is what the shareholder list is. Here is the equity, whatever bunch of paper. It's not whatever nonsense they need, right? This is what they need to make sure it's qualified. Okay. So the last thing that we're asking, from what I understand, is the latest financials for core gaming. Okay, so this they're getting. I think that was handed over last week. Maybe it was this week. But basically, I you know what I think is going to happen? We got a short week. We got the holiday, and I told you guys. First thing I learned on Wall Street is I remember when I was a kid. I was working for this trader. He says, "Listen, they do the murder right when nobody's watching," meaning the action happens when people are away, getting on vacation, the Friday afternoon, just like we saw the action, the big break, the massive moves. A couple of weeks ago, the thing nearly doubled on a Friday afternoon. SYTA, we're talking about. This Friday, we had a massive move, 60% move, so what we're waiting for is basically, we're waiting for the NASDAQ approval. Do I know any information? I don't know anybody at NASDAQ. I have nobody's telling me anything. The companies tell me, okay, this is what they told. We're giving them this, and from what I understand, they're very, very close. Okay, we're down to the wire. And again, remember when I did the first video, I said, look, we're 30 to 60 days out. So now we're 35 days in. So we're right around there. It's like, look, from the time of conception to birth, for humans, I think it's 9 months. Is it exactly 9 months? It could be a week later, or a week earlier, 2 weeks early. You don't know. You have no idea, right? Elephants, I have no idea. How long do they take them to give birth? And this is it. Here is why I think this is going to happen. Because everybody gave up on the stock. Okay, there was massive capitulation. How do I know it's capitulation? You see it with your own eyes. The stock collapsed from $9. It got way ahead of itself. Everybody got crazy. It ran too high. It shouldn't have gone that much. It should have been $4. In my opinion, it should have gone to like $4, and it hung out there till the merger. That's what I think should have, because I think with the merger, the thing is worth $15. I think SYTA is worth $15 a share, literally day one. Day one. That's my opinion. And how do I say that? It's based on the comps. Core gaming is doing $80 million revenues. The comps are 25 times the revenues. Companies like App 11. But I'm saying it's only going to be 10x multiple for now. So let's just say it's $1 billion valuation. It's not 800. Let's just say $1 billion just to make the math easy. 1 billion. You divide by, and SYTA is going to have 10% of that roughly, right? So maybe more, possibly more, depending on where the stock is. So what that means is that's $100 million. The thing is 15 million market cap right now. So you got basically an 8x from here. 8x times 230 is 18, 20, 50. I'm saying $15. It could be $20, 25. Let's just say $15 to be on the safe side. That's my number. And day one, that doesn't count growth. It doesn't talk about their M&A pipeline. None of that. None of that is in here. Okay, hang on a second. I think my battery is about to run low. Hang on, I got to plug in my battery. Hang on 1 second, guys. My, uh-oh. Did I have my charger? Here we go. Okay. All right. right, let's plug this in. Let's plug in the Mac. Here we go. The Mac. Here we go. Okay, 1 second, guys. Is the battery gone? Uh-oh. This wall? Okay, hang on a second. Let me go. Okay, let me see. This wall socket is maybe not working. Huh. Uh-oh. Huh. We may be running out of electricity. I don't know where this electric here is. This is weird. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, we're back. We got the electricity. All right. We got the electricity, all good. Bottom line is, oh yeah, okay, wow. Look, you can have there could be an epic short squeeze here. Epic. I mean, this thing can just look, a lot of these short sellers could be caught, with their pants down. Get caught with their pants down, and you know what happens. All right, so bottom line is, look at this chart. Hang on a second, let me pull this up. Okay, I'm showing you the 1 hour chart. Let me go through the charts real quick. I think this is, again, my opinion, SYTA could be the hottest stock of the market this week. Why? Everything is aligning up. Now, the deal could close this week. They might do it like, maybe NASDAQ say, hey, let's just get rid of this, before the 4th of July. The holiday's coming up Friday, right? So they might say, look, let's just give these guys the approval and be done with it. Or they might wait, I don't know, a week later. They don't move that fast, right? So it could be Thursday. Right at the close. Anyway, it could be next week. I have no idea. I know that we're right on time. It's not late. The deal is not late. I know people are panicking. Oh, this, that, not. And the deal is exactly what's going on. Okay, so we got confirmation. The volume is the confirmation. Okay, here is the numbers you got to watch. Write this down. These are the numbers you got to watch. It's about 325 to 350. Roughly 325 to 350 is the resistance. Roughly. Again, I'm looking at the 1 hour chart. Is the resistance roughly at 341? Now, let me look at the 4 hour chart. On the 4 hour chart, we got resistance at 260. You got 261. Right, guys, you should write these numbers down. 261, you're gonna have the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. I don't think that's a big deal. And then you got the threes coming up on the 50. I think the real one to watch is, frankly, the 15-minute, which we broke out of. This is the one which has been the most accurate for short-term action, and we're clear of that. I mean, this was your. So by the way, if you look at my old videos, I told you this was going to happen. The algos were going to go crazy because you have three things happening. On the 15-minute chart is the most important chart for SYTA, and here's why. Okay, number one, you got confirmation. You got a breakout above the key moving averages, which is the 50 and the 200. You see that? That's your buy signal. Okay, number two is you got your golden cross right there. You got the golden cross that happened literally at 11 a.m. on Friday. And I told you there was going to be something crazy would happen. And, actually went up right into that, right? So then you got this buy signal. So you got two buy signals. The third buy signal is your volume going up, explosion of volume on the way up. When it sold off a little bit, the volume was much lower and the volume rose into the close. Okay, that's very important. Now, look at this. When was the last time we had, well, it doesn't go back that far, but basically, when was the last time we had the stock above those? We have it not since a month ago. So this is a beautiful pennant formation. You got inverse head and shoulders. You got all sorts of stuff happening here. These are the types of patterns. And also, you know what you see? You know what else you see? MACD, the Mac Daddy looks ready. Okay. I don't, I haven't looked at MACD in a long time. I'm a simple guy. I used to be into all the, I just made it simple. There's just so many indicators. I just look, you know what? 50 and 200 moving average. For me, that's enough. And it works. Okay. And here you got multiple buy signals with these moving averages. Ellie's asking, what is the target for tomorrow? I think there's two possibilities. Well, actually, there's three possibilities. One, maybe there's four. One is nothing happens, which I think is very low. Let's look at kind of, if I could do a bell curve of distribution. I think there's a 50% chance we go to like 330, 340 right at the resistance. I think there's a 50% chance we run up about $1. By the way, the other thing is you're seeing the stock go up after the close. We haven't had that in a long time. Now look at this. And the thing is, I hope it doesn't gap up. That's my only thing. I hope we don't have a gap up tomorrow because it looks like it might open up at like 250 or something. But so here's what I think. Okay, here's the probabilities. I think there's like a 50% chance that we go to like 3 and change right at that resistance, 325, 350, whatever. 50% chance. I think there is a 10% chance this thing does nothing or just kind of like, fails. I think that a very small chance. I mean, we got a very high probability setup, right here. This stock pattern, this chart pattern is a super high probability pattern with all the signals, super high probability. Now, am I saying it's guaranteed? No, nothing is guaranteed. But I do believe we're set for tomorrow for a potential explosion. Again, 50% probability of this thing going to 350. 10%, 15% probability of this thing breaking out and going to like $4 or something crazy, maybe 5. And then there's like I think there's a much lower probability of kind of doing nothing or kind of hanging around here. I think we have a very strong chance of a major breakout. And then for the next couple of days, I think we got a really good chance of this thing going to $5 by Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, before the holiday. Okay, so but before the 4th of July, which is, when is that? Is that the 4th? Is that Thursday? No, 4. It's the, okay, so Thursday's the last trading day. So Thursday's the last trading day. So we could have, I think we get some crazy action tomorrow, Tuesday. We can, again, this thing is just ready to go. Let's get back to, okay, so you got the 50-minute chart. What about, did I show you the 1-hour chart? Yeah, the 1-hour chart again. You want to look at 340. We're basically, after that, you got escape velocity. Look, here is the thing you need to understand. Once this breaks out of 350, there's no resistance. There is no resistance. It could just run. It could go to $15 like in a day. I'm not saying it's going to go, but there's no resistance. There is no technical resistance after 350. That's it. We've done it. And by the way, here's the thing. I talk about this. Once a stock has been tested, it's basically inoculated against all this stuff. It's got all the shark bites. It's been vaccinated. It's been vaccinated against all the short sellers, this, that. It's been there, done it. So bottom line is we're looking really, really good. I mean, I'm doing this video not because I have to. This is not I really believe. And again, this is the only stock I'm talking about. We got a bunch of stocks we're working with. I'm talking about SYTA because it's the one that looks most ready to go tomorrow, and I don't want you guys to miss out. See, we got a very quiet week, so you could have an explosive situation. You could have a lot of upside volatility because again, it's a quiet week. Most people are taking the week off already. It's going to be very quiet, so a little action can send this thing to the moon. All right, so it's really set up. Oh, I didn't even get my Twitter going. Oh, what happened? Oh, I didn't get Twitter. Here we go. Okay, I'll give Twitter. Twitter wasn't watching. Twitter wasn't watching. I didn't set it up. But anyway, bottom line, again, look at this. This is the first time we're seeing this thing closing up 248. I mean, you got FOMO coming in. We haven't had FOMO. We haven't had positive sentiment in over a month. So you got major buy signals. Again, this is the 1 hour chart, major buy signal. Again, above the moving average, breakout, volume confirmation. On 15-minute, you got the golden cross. The golden cross right here. That is a major buy signal. And again, the last time we saw the stock above these moving averages was, right at the beginning, right when it first broke out, really, back in May. So very positive. How about the 30-minute chart? Is that going to 30-minute chart? Oh, actually, this is interesting. So the 30-minute, look at this. Let me zoom in. 30-minute chart is right at the 200 moving average. And by the way, the after hours is traded at 248. So what that means is we're actually above it. We got a breakout happening Monday, basically, if it stays up here. So this thing is, this is a beautiful pennant here. This is your classical pennant formation right here. This chart, guys, look at this. You don't understand this? How about candlesticks? There's your candlestick. You want this candlestick? Okay, how about after hours? You want to see the candlestick extended? We got a breakout already a long time ago. So let's just do this. This thing again, ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. Big explosion volume on the way up. Very small volume when it sold off a little bit on the profit taking. Okay, this guy, Grubby Pug. So this guy's saying he got in at $2. He sold at $7. Those are actually pretty good. Those are pretty good levels. And now he got in at 215. So, okay, so this guy basically is playing at the breakouts. This guy's playing the breakouts, and that's a smart way to go. So he's playing the moving Grubby. Are you playing the moving average breakout? Is that what you're doing? Are you looking at the 15-minute chart? You know what I think? I think the real money is going to be made right now. The big money. The big, huge money. Hang on a second. Let me show you something. I want to show you guys something here. Okay. By the way, I'm not here to sell you this course, the membership right now. We do have membership. If you want to get early notifications for our next new stock, which is going to launch in about a week. The week after the holiday, we're going to probably launch a new stock, which probably is going to double out of the gate. Okay, so you can potentially double your money day one, like all of our other winners. Like this week, we had ADTX that went up 85% day one, but you're going to get early notification. So what that means is you're going to know exactly what time we're going to launch it and then what platform. Okay, so just to be very clear, just so that we're not doing not insider trading or whatever non-public information, we're releasing the stock on a public platform, right? But not everybody's going to be watching. Let's say it's Twitter. Okay, not everybody's going to be watching Twitter at 11:51 a.m. or whatever time it is when we launch, right? Very few people. And if they do, it's going to be a while before everybody else gets it, right? But if you're one of the people that we tell you watch at 11:51 this platform, then you're going to be ready. Do you understand the advantage it gives you? We had a couple of people who actually signed up and then they didn't. They're like just morons. They didn't figure out that that's the value that you pay for that early. That's worth it because you can get in 30, 40 seconds early, even a minute early. So that way, you can get into a stock at $1. And because by the time everybody else goes into it in 2 minutes later, it'll already be $1.50. So you can make 35-50%. That's a big alpha. All right, so let me show you something. Guys, let me show you this. Exactly. Played smart. Okay, so let me show you something. The big money is made. What? On the ask, $3. Oof. Okay, here's the big takeaway, guys. Here's what you need to know. This is today's lesson. All of our 10 baggers. Again, I'm not here for day trading and pick up nickels and dimes. The only stocks I focus on, I bring to the public is stocks which can increase 1,000% or more. Okay, like for example, Like these are some of our 10 baggers. I don't talk about doubles and triples. You don't see any doubles and triples here, right? And we've had so many of them. I consider that a failure. I mean, lottery went up 250%. You could have made 250%. I don't consider that a success. You don't see me putting SYTA here up 700%. That's not a success. 1,000%, that's the minimum benchmark. So the point is, in the book, I explained the big money is made, not the first wave. What SYTA had was wave one. The big money is made in the second wave. And I'm going to show you right now on these charts. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you. So, okay, this is just, I'm showing you the benefits of the program, blah, blah, blah. The course, you get a course. Okay, I want to show you these charts. Yeah, $4. I think so. I think you know, I was saying this before. I think there's a good chance we go to I think either we get stopped at 350 at the resistance at one of those moving averages, 315 or 350, somewhere in that resistance line we get stopped at, or if it clears that, then it's escape velocity. You know, there's no, it's like no gravity, no atmosphere, it's escape velocity. Moon time, okay? Again, not a device, it's paid content. These are high-risk stocks. You know the drill, okay? This guy gets the drill. He understands. Okay, so let me show you something. So I'm showing you the value of, obviously, of if you join our premium program, you can make basically double your money whenever we introduce a new stock. Because, again, these are day one gains. These are day one gains. Lottery, 150% day one. Hoth, 90% day one. We had SYTA. Well, I don't have, it was, I forgot what it was day one, because that one, I'm not sure, but it was 700% in like 8 days. Aditex, I don't have Aditex. Aditex, 85% day one. That launched this week. When was it? Tuesday? When did we launch it? Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't know. Wednesday. We launched it Wednesday. Okay, let me show you something. I'm showing you these charts. Look at these charts very carefully, guys. Look at these charts. Pay close attention. The big money is made in the second wave. You see Cytodyne, you know, it tripled, right? We introduced it at 50 cents. And then it went to $1.50. Okay, people thought, oh my God, I tripled my money. It did, you know, went sideways. And then, boom, the second wave, it went to $10. You understand that? You see that? The big money is made in the second wave. The yellow thing, that's where we introduced the stock. And then it shows you where it went. Okay, so again, on the left side, the yellow part is when we introduced the stock. And by the way, it takes a couple months. This one took like, you know, 9 months or something. Visby, same thing over there. Let me show you. You had wave one, right? The wave one, it went up from 17 cents to, I don't know, 50 cents or whatever. Again, people tripled their money. They took profits. The big money was made on the second wave, okay? You see that? Again, let me repeat. Do you see something? Do you see the, I mean, does this, you see something? You see a pattern here? Peak FinTech, we introduced it at 70 cents and went to $3, okay? It hung out there for quite a while. People took profits. And I told them it's going to break out. And then it went to $14. You see that? It went to 40. People made 20 times the big money made in the second wave. Have I made myself clear? I mean, do you see the pattern? I mean, you don't need to be Albert Einstein to understand that the big money is made in the second wave, like we're about to see, in my opinion, with SYTA. Wave 2 is about to happen. Get it through your head. This guy gets it. Garbipod got it, okay? CBDT, even better. This one from a nickel. We introduced it at a nickel, and that's Canadian nickel. That's not even real money. That's like free money, a nickel, Canadian money. You know, we introduced the stock at a nickel Canadian. Actually, the U.S. was trading at 3 cents, I think. It went to 50 cents. People made 10 times their money in a couple of months. Very happy. People made 10 times their money. Okay, that's a success. That's not bad. But, you know, I said, hey, this thing, it doesn't want to go down. It doesn't want to go down. And look at this. Let me show you the chart. It consolidated. Actually, it dropped like 30%. Not a big drop, a little drop. And then it was consolidating, going sideways for months. And I said, hey, look at this pattern. The bigger the consolidation, the bigger. Oh, my God. You know how many times I've repeated this? I'm already tired of repeating this. I've said it so many times, and I'm talking to knuckleheads that don't get it, especially on TikTok. That's like the low IQ people on TikTok, unfortunately. There's so many people who don't understand. They don't want to understand. The bigger your consolidation pattern, the bigger the breakout potential. Again, the bigger your foundation, the taller building you can build, okay? You get it? So this thing went up 50x. It went from 50 cents to $2.50. So the second wave took it from 50 to 250, the big money. All right? I mean, do you see a pattern? There you go. Send me a testimonial. Hey, send me a testimonial on TikTok or somewhere. I want to like either write it or a video testimonial. We want to use it for one of our things in marketing, because we have a lot of people who've made a lot of money with our stocks. We always like to have like a board of winners. If you go to 10 Bagger Blueprint, my website, 10 Bagger Blueprint, that's the site where we're selling the book. I got a bunch of testimonials for people who've made like millions of dollars. I've had like kids, like literally 22-year-old kids who turned a couple thousand to like $1 million. And some guys made a couple $1 million and more with this stock, actually. How about this stock? Again, this is actually like SYTA. It went up. Look at this. It went up. We introduced at 50 cents. It went to like, was it 250? Everybody got all excited, went to 250. Short sellers came in. Hindenburg Research attacked the stock. Hindenburg Research. It comes back down just like SYTA. You see that? It almost gave back all the gains, just like SYTA. And then the next wave from like $1 or whatever it was, it went to 750, if I'm not mistaken. The big money was made in the second wave. Fans unite. Again, you see the pattern. Imagine AR. The second, actually, no, this one actually didn't go down. Pretty much didn't go down to it. But this one went up 1,700%, basically. One of our big winners. ESC Entertainment also explodes, massive volume, because we're very hot, massive volume. People give up, they have no patience. Everybody gives up. After everybody gives up, then it makes the big run. Then it goes from, $1.50 to $4.50. Okay? So, question is, do you want to be a penny stocks billionaire? Do you have what it takes? Do you have what it takes? Now, again, we're going to be launching a new stock in about a week. I want you guys to have money to put into it. So, I'm not telling you what to do. No buy-sell recommendations. 10 Bagger Blueprint is the book. You want to get the course. You want to get access to the early notifications. You want to make real money. You don't want to miss out on the next, double. Get the early alerts program. It's $195 a month. Grubby Pug should probably get it because this guy's probably trading big money. So think about the edge you would have, Grubby. Think about the edge you would have if I told you, okay, Tuesday, July 12th at 9:53 a.m. on Instagram, we're going to introduce the next banger. Okay, you're going to have about a minute before thousands of people find out, right? So you can have a minute before we post it and the time, it disseminates, right? But it's there. Once it's there, we can talk about it. Once the post is on Instagram, it's public. But you're going to have 45 seconds. But if you're ready, if I tell you 9:53 Instagram, go there. We'll announce the symbol. I'm not telling you what it is before. You're going to see it on Instagram. You can go on your whatever, your E-Trade, whatever it is, your interactive brokers, and boom, boom, boom. Type it in. Look at the chart just to make sure I'm not full of shit. Look at the chart. Boom. And you got a 30-50% advantage. Yeah, listen, I'll tell you what. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. When this thing hits $7, the FOMO is going to drive it to 15. I don't want people buying it here. I want them buying at $7. That's my whole thesis. I want people buying at higher prices because that we need more. We need the haters. We need haters. Okay, we need the haters and doubters because they're watching the stock. And when they see the train leaving the station, they see going back to 7. Woo! And you know what's going to happen? Hang on a second. You know what happens? Let me show you what happens. We're going to have, what we're going to have? We're going to have a cup and handle formation. We're going to have a cup and handle formation when it goes to $7. I should say if. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying if it goes. Okay, just to be clear, if. Because when it goes to 750, that becomes your cup and handle. And I think it's going to hang around there. I bet it would hang around 750 for a couple of weeks, and then it could just go bananas. From 750, I am so certain of this. I have never been more certain of anything in my life. Really, guys, like I don't need to say this shit. I already got paid. I don't need to say this. Okay, this is paid content. I don't need to say this. Am I doing this for? Am I doing this type of video for lottery? Am I doing it for LIPM or what? No, I'm doing it because this stock is I have 100% certainty we're going to see a massive move this week. And I've showed you the patterns, the chart, the patterns repeat. Boom. That's exactly, I agree with that completely. What's going to happen is going to hang out. It's going to hang out $7, $8 for, could be a month. It could hang out there for maybe a month, a couple of weeks at least. And then, because I think what happens is, I think, here's what I think could happen. I think the merger happens. Stock goes to $8. It goes to $8 right when they announce it. And after the thing is already closed, after the deal closes, people take profits. And you got a lot of new people who are going to rush in and say, oh, it's closed. The deal's closed. It's going to go to the moon now. It's going to go to the moon. No, you know what's going to happen? It's going to sell off because buy the rumor, sell the news. You know that if you read my book. Now, I shouldn't say that because, you know, it's my client. I should say it's going to the moon. But the reality is you got to buy the rumor, sell the news. Most likely, after the deal closes, the stock is going to be much higher. It'll probably run to like $8. It'll maybe even higher, maybe $9. It'll sell off to like $7. Everybody will panic because all there's newbies are going to rush in at, you know, $9. The guys like Grubby is going to sell off. He's going to sell it, and it's going to hang out. It's going to form a cup and handle at that $7 range. It's going to be there for a couple of weeks. After all the newbies, you know, capitulate, boom, it goes to $15. But it's going to be based on some news or whatever. So that's the real. Yeah, listen, I'm not, you know. We tell you the real deal. We tell you the real deal. You want the real deal? I'm getting paid by both. Do I think, in my opinion, SYTA has a better setup right now. ADTX, I don't think is going to move this week. I think ADTX needs to consolidate, build a base. ADTX is not in momentum mode right now. The one stock we have that's in momentum mode right now is SYTA. Okay? Listen, just because, yeah, I'm getting paid to promote these stocks, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's all based on the 10-bagger blueprint, okay? It's all based on a framework, proven system, okay? Just like I'm telling you why this thing is set up to explode, I'm telling you why the others are not moving this week. Or maybe half could have a move, half could have a move, half could have a move this week, Monday, Tuesday. Half is actually could be ready to have a move. ADTX is going to be probably the week after, not this week. It's going to be the week after. This week is going to be kind of like hanging out, building a base. So that's the deal. That is the deal. All right, guys. Leave your comments below. Make sure to share, like the content, spread the word. Share, click the button, the like, share, spread, like, thumbs up, like, whatever it is, you know, whatever the buttons are, wherever you're watching. And reshare, repost the content if you see it somewhere. Monday is, I think we're going to have crazy action Monday. So be prepared. Be prepared. Again, nothing here is advice. It's not guaranteed. It's high risk. You know the deal. All right. Thank you for joining. We'll see you. Maybe we'll see you Monday. We'll see you Monday for another live stream. We're going to do. If thing is running, I might do. I'm going to be on the road this week, so I may not have time to do it Monday. But that's why I'm doing it now, because I think we're something big could happen. Something big and huge and bigly could happen. Here's to your 100x. Again, get the book on Amazon and get my course. Link in the bio. It's on WAP. Also to get the you want to get the early notifications. We're going to launch a new stock in about a week, right after the 4th, a week after, something like that. It's going to be a banger, probably double the first day, most probably. Not guaranteed, but you know, based on past history, yeah, probably could double. All right, here's to your 100x, guys. I hope you make a lot of money so you have money to put into our next deal. That's the whole point. That's why I want you to make money.